Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name is Tarun Shetty, and this is my bedroom slash TV studio. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week. I'm sure you are. I have no idea what day it is, but I've been going hiking every day. I've been writing. I've been trying to just, do me, whatever that means. I haven't had coffee in 3 days, so that's pretty amazing, big news for me. But I was hiking yesterday, and it's funny, I always see like boyfriend and girlfriends together, like holding hands, like apocalypse is coming, and like they're gonna go down together. I know like these dating sites, I read somewhere that like pregnancies are gonna be up this next year because people are just having a crazy time at home. I pretty much am alone. I mean, that's what it is. I don't know why I'm laughing about that. It's pretty sad. But I thought I would talk about, just love and breakups in general, because I almost feel like a machine. I don't know what it is with me, but I've been rejected so many times just in life, which is good. It's not a bad thing. I feel like I'm almost like endure and I can just move forward like a shark without even feeling anything. It's kind of crazy, but I wasn't always like that. And I think I've been destroyed many times in relationships. And I thought I would just tell you what I did or how I got through things. And maybe, you can use this for your own relationship stuff. Or maybe your girlfriend leaves you now during this pandemic. You can use this stuff. So I'm just going to walk you through some scenarios because I have a lot, my friends. I have a lot. Well, first of all, remember I had my first serious girlfriend, I think like my late 20s. And I think that's the only girl I really debated marrying. And then I was like, whatever, it ended, and I was really devastated over that, and I was like, wow, this really cannot get any worse. And then I went through like a series of other relationships, and they were all like one after the other, just train wrecks, because here's why. I was trying to just quit the business, and I tried to just get like a normal job, and I was so unhappy, I tried to just fill my job, the void, with like just relationships with people who I knew weren't right for me, which is why I think they ended. But it was still really hard because you get really attached to people, and that's why I have a lot of empathy for people who get out of relationships, because I know it sucks. Like, I've been reduced to crying in a fetal position, just what the hell, like you have no idea what the hell's going on. But so let's get to it. One, I would say love is a drug. There's this great video on YouTube by Bukowski, and he talks about how it's almost like a fog. It's a very pessimistic way of looking at it, but he's like, love is a fog. It dissipates after a while, which is true. But I do think it's good to enjoy it while it's there. But when it does leave, you got to remember that, it is sort of a drug, that this is your brain telling you certain things. And it's almost like this false reality you're living in, saying that, you're not going to make it through, that you're not going to pull out of it. That's one, right? So know that what you're experiencing isn't necessarily true, which goes back to another thing I'm always saying. Our brains aren't necessarily telling us the truth all the time, in all aspects of life. So that's a good starting point. Two, whenever a relationship ends, I just bury myself in work, and that helps tremendously. And I think that's why, honestly, even though I'm not like super famous, I've done a lot of stuff in showbiz, and I think it's because I work really hard. Like, I'm able to just barrel in and just focus, like laser focus, especially like after relationships. Like, I've written books, produced movies, blah, blah, blah. because I've been able to just put my pain into a different channel. So if you enjoy something, don't be showbiz, but if anything you like doing, I would really explore that. In fact, I've said this 1,000 times, but like everything I do, even like from like my jiu-jitsu stuff to like all my agents that I have, like I did everything on my own. And it was for my last relationship that ended. I was like, you know what? F this. I'm going to just do me. And it's really empowering putting everything into yourself. I was talking to a comedian friend of mine, and we have another friend, and all he does is chase tail like nonstop. And we're like, dude, this guy needs to just put that energy back into himself. You can accomplish wonders. So it still doesn't really help with the mental anguish people go through over breakups, which I get, and I'll tell you some more things. I would knock him or her off that pedestal, right? Which sounds awful, and I hate doing that mentally, but that's a big one. You have to, because I feel like we put these people on these, grand, grand thrones where they can do no wrong, where they're these perfect individuals. And I don't like have like a list of like, oh, this person is, I don't make a list of everything wrong with that person, but I definitely think, they're not as perfect as I think they are, right? So knock them off that pedestal. Like they're not that great, really. Seriously. And I think when we hold on to that illusory thing of infallibility, that they can do no wrong, that they're the perfect person to complete you, that's just an absolute fallacy. So you've got to knock them off that pedestal, which brings me to the most important point of all. Really, whenever someone breaks up with me, especially, if I break up with that person, I'm always like, I always know deep down there's too many things going on in different directions. But if someone breaks up with me, I'm always like, well, if they can't see my value, then it's time to keep moving. I mean, I know what I bring to the table, and you have to put yourself first. Really, like, if someone treats you secondary, if someone can't treat you the way that you want to be treated, if someone is not there for you, if someone, like, I wrote down a list of everything I wanted in my partner, and the number one thing was they have to have my back always. So if they don't have your back, then why would you want to invest emotionally, time wise, anything into that person? Like, they're doing you a favor. And it's really hard to understand, but it is a fact. And know that most everyone has gone through some terrible breakup in their life, whether it's an everyday person to world leaders, celebrities, you name it, they've gone through it. I mean, you can Google just divorces and things, and this happens again and again. It's part of our society. It's part of human nature. So you will get through it. It's gonna suck, no question. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. It will suck, and you will want to kill yourself. Well, you won't want to kill yourself, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you will be depressed. Maybe I want to kill myself, but you will get through it. And I think every time it happens, it's almost like it's a small victory, because you do pick yourself back up. Not to bring everything back to martial arts, but like my jiu-jitsu class, people say, well, what's the best thing about jiu-jitsu? And my friends say, oh, it teaches you how to get out of bad situations. But for me, I've gotten like choked out so many times by bigger guys. It's taught me how to lose, right? That's the best thing for me. It's taught me how to lose. And like, when I don't get what I want, like in my career or relationships, I know how to just rebound and keep moving forward. Can just pick myself back up. And I think that's my best quality by far. So there you have it. Hope this helps you in this amazing time we're living in right now. And maybe you will be quarantined with somebody by accident and fall in love. And then when they break your heart, you can watch this video. So have a great week. Take care. See ya.